Hi everybody. This is the first part of a two-part JMRI series of how-tos. This section will concentrate on excuse me, how you recognize the COM port that the JMRI interface is connected to. As mentioned in a previous video, the JMRI software interacts with a device connected to the COM port, USB ports on your computer. In my case, it's the SPROG 2 I showed you in the previous video. Incidentally, you'll see the voice recorder top right of the screen. If I minimized it, it would shut down altogether. There's a problem with it Microsoft's aware of. Yeah, most programs, if you minimize them, they still run in the background, but the voice recorder doesn't, which is why it's there. So to interface with the JMRI software, as mentioned, you connect to the USB port on your computer. Now there are various ways of checking which COM port is connected to. It all depends on your operating system. You may go through device control panel to get to device manager, which is what you'll need to check the COM port, which I'll show you. Bear with me. No, I thought cable had come off a programming track. This is Windows 10, and to find device manager in Windows 10, you would come down to the bottom left hand side, move the mouse pointer over the window icon down the bottom there, and click the right hand button. You go up and select Device Manager. Now I won't click on Device Manager because I've already got it open, which is down here. And the reason I've got it open is because it asks for permission when you first run it, which you either click yes or no. And obviously I click yes so I can run it, but it shuts down the screen capture software for some strange reason. So I had to open Device Manager and then run the screen capture software. But anyway, there's Device Manager, and just shut that. You have a list of items that are connected to your computer. The COM ports is where it says ports, COM and LPT. LPT was the old printer port, local parallel port, or printer port. Most people use the USB now to connect to a printer. In my case, it's across a network via the router. So to look at the ports, you click on this, whether you want to call it a chevron or an arrow, so on the left hand side. So if you click on that, you get a list of ports and USB devices that are connected to your computer. I've only got the one at the moment, which is the SPROG. You may have several. You may see COM1, COM2, COM3 and so on. If you're not sure which one the SPROG, if indeed you're using a SPROG, which port is connected to, then just simply unplug it, and in my case it'll disappear because I've only got the one USB connection. If you've got several, you'll still see COM ports in this list. Sorry about that. And what you do, if you've got, say, COM1, COM2, COM3 still showing, but one of them has disappeared, you just simply plug it back in and it'll find it again and it'll come up here. The new COM port, and you just make a note of the COM, again in my case it's COM7. More often than not, you probably won't need it, because when you install the software, it finds it anyway and assigns relevant COM port. Really, that's just in case it doesn't find it. Now, the JML software, when you install it, gives you two icons: Panel Pro and Decoder Pro. Panel Pro, which I'll quickly show you, is a place where you would configure JML software. For example, if it doesn't find your Sprog, you would simply come into here, find the connections, which is the first one. You'd look, system manufacturer, it's a Sprog DCC controller. System connection, your connection to the Sprog, and there's where you'll find your port. Again, if you've got several ports, and you've identified which ones the Sprog is connected to, you click down there, it'll be in the list, and just click on it, and leave everything as it stands. The rest of it you can go through at a later date. You can display different things on the screen, the way JMRI looks when you run it. This at the very bottom warrant is it's set to default of HO, which I've changed to 00. Another important part you need to look at is defaults. Now, sometimes when you install it, and this is only if it doesn't recognize your sound decoder, you come into the let's minimize that, the Pro panel, run that, go to defaults, and these should be Sprog Programmer. Sometimes it defaults to here. So what you need to do is bring it back, click up here, and when you've finished, just click Save. It'll then say it wants to restart Pro Panel. Just click OK, and then you can just come out of it then, quit it, and then you start JMRI. There's a chance you may not need to do any of that work in Pro Panel. So if you go into Decoder Pro, and there you'll find the roster. That's just several locos I've installed just to test the locos. That top one is that light strip I showed you, where it has its own DCC decoder. Now, as with all Windows programs, there are various ways of performing the same task. For example, if I wanted to create a new loco entry, which is what this video is for, you can either click on New Loco or Edit New Loco. Obviously, the easiest way to do would be to click on New Loco. So click on New Loco, and you bring this screen up. Now, this screen lists all the manufacturers, decoder manufacturers, or the majority of them. It's got ESU, Lock Sound, and so on, and Hornby's. Where's Hornby? Hornby digital decoders and TTS decoders. It's always worthwhile looking on a JMRI website, which I showed you in a previous video, because they're always upgrading the software and developing. This one, for example, is version 4.8. They're actually working on 4.9, which should be available soon. Again, it's always worth downloading and installing, because you may get, well, you should get more options, decoder options. Now, the two options to go and scan for a decoder are read type from decoder, which means it's going to read the decoder in, excuse me, my throat went then. So you're going to read the type of decoder that's in your locomotive, and it'll go through all the DCC decoders. This one, match only, will only match and show you the decoders it thinks is in your locomotive. So if I click read type from decoder, down here it'll start looking at that locomotive, and still clicking away. should be able to hear it clicking. It's actually a Hornby Class 08. Now I thought this had a Locksound version 4, but it hasn't come up with version 4, which I'll check later with my lock programmer. So assuming then it's 3.5, because Hornby Class 08s, I got two Class 08s. One has Locksound version 4 and the other has version 3.5. I assume this one is 3.5. So I click on it to say I want to use that one, because I know it's not a micro and I know it's not an XL. So I'll click on that and it comes up with what it's found so far, which is a short address and its default address of 3. It needs you to put in the name of a loco, so if I put in Class 08, once I've done that and I'm happy the address is right and I've got that, if I click read, it'll then go to the decoder and find extended information such as the CVs, the functions and so on. So if I click that, you'll see that idle change again. So it's now going to read all the CVs, or the main CVs. Once it's done that, it should go OK. Once it's gone OK and it's read all the CVs, just click Save. And it'll save what you've just done here to the roster. So I can get rid of that now. And there it is. The other blank spaces here is for you to add information, such as the loco number, which I can't remember at the moment. So I'll just put XYZ. Z. Manufacturer's Hornby, so I can type in Hornby. Model Class 08. Or it might just be 08. It's up to you what information you put in. The operator, I believe, is just the same as a DCC address. I'll show you the extended information and how you configure that at a later date. Now, to run the loco, you need something called a throttle. Again, there's various options, but if you select, if you decide I want to control the Class 08, you click on the 08. So if I go up here and I want to control the Class 08, so I'll click on it and right click and come down to throttle. Now it's come up here with just F1, F2, F3, F4. Now I've noticed it seems to do that, even though it's supposed to put in the label names. So if I come down to the bottom right, and I'll show you more about this in the next video, and click on labels and media, it should come up with what should be on those labels. And I know lights and 0, which they always are, but bell is not number 1, so I'll quickly change that to start and save to roster and close it. Close the roster down, and it doesn't do this straight away. If I open the throttle again, just put the label names on it now. Now, like the lock programmer and I think Railmaster, Hornby's Railmaster, which is very similar to this, there's an off and on button, so there's no power getting to the track at the moment. So if I click on, so you see the word on, I can now start the loco, I hope. So here goes. Should be able to hear it starting up. And a horn. Very low on the Class 08s, I've noticed. So that's really it for now. Let me shut it down. That's it for now. And I'll show you how to change these labels properly, and how to really configure the parameters of this locomotive, look at CVs and make it perform better and so on. So that's it for now for this part of the video. So thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.